Hi breakfast lovers, welcome back to Gourmet Assembly, where we uncover the fascinating stories behind your favorite foods. Today's mystery unwrap is one of the largest breakfast icons of all time, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Think about it, starting from something simple like corn for every crunchy bite of Frosted Flakes. Yet the levels and procedures it undergoes before becoming those golden, sugary flakes hitting the appropriate balance of sweetness and crunch really are fantastic. Today we're going to dig really deep into a step-by-step approach to finding how it all comes together, from sunlit fields of corn to high-tech factories where flakes get their frosted magic. Grab your spoon, pour in a generous portion of milk, and settle in as we crunch through the incredible story behind Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. So how are they actually made? Let's break down the process to make this beloved breakfast food. Starting from corn, that's what makes the taste and crunch a top-class special variety grown in Argentina, which is an ideal destination for the crops, with all conditions being perfect. Thus, every flake will meet the expectations of those who like cornflakes, since it'll be sourced responsibly to ensure the consistency of flavor and texture that gives cornflakes its flavor in a breakfast. This means that every kernel is grown with care, strictly adhering to environmental, social, and governance guidelines protecting the earth and people behind the process. To make sure everything checks out, Kellogg works closely with their regional supplier, Daxa, and the local farmers who grow the corn. These farmers follow best practices, from using eco-friendly methods to ensuring fair working conditions. And now you'll see the words responsibly sourced corn proudly displayed on every box of cornflakes sold in Europe. It's like a stamp of approval for doing things the right way. The kernels reaching the facility get cleaned with utmost care so that no impurities or debris remains attached to it. So only the finest corn shall move ahead for further processing. Starting with top-quality corn and using meticulous growing processes, Kellogg's makes sure that every flake comes out the best of the best to be transformed into the iconic cereal all of us love. The best kernels of corn are selected. These are cleaned in large industrial kettles and then cooked with great control over heat, moisture, and pressure in order to make the corn soft so that it would be pliable for the next stage. In the case of Frosted Flakes, the corn is pre-soaked with a slightly more encasement method in comparison to the even lighter cooking that would create a delicious cornflake. Having obtained the right texture in the corn, the next process is mashing. This will be carried out by using large mechanical rollers to crush the corn into a thin paste-like dough. The paste is kept quite thick to ensure that it can maintain structure throughout the rolling and forming stages that follow. The paste is passed between large rollers so that it's gently compressed into thin, even sheets. The thinness is of utmost importance to create crisp, light flakes. Too thick, the flakes become dense and hard. Too thin, and they can fall apart or burn during the toasting process. The rolling process also ensures that the corn paste is smoothened out as it's flattened. Any specks or air bubbles in the paste could give uneven cook results of the flakes or make them break apart. Once the dough has been rolled out into sheets of uniform thickness, these can then be cut into flakes. Cutting sheets into flakes involves using large machines filled with sharp blades or rollers that would slice through to provide flakes of different shapes. Individual flakes measure about 2 to 3 centimeters in width. They would still appear flat, like small pieces of dough at this stage. At this point, they're certainly not crispy, nor do they have the golden color or sweetness they eventually attain through toasting. The whole idea here is to yield the crude form, which later becomes the familiar crisp flakes of Frosted Flakes. Besides uniformity and thickness, the size and shape of the flakes also come into play. While the Frosted Flakes are usually homogeneous in shape, it's the various diameters that make them appealing in terms of texture. Some of the flakes are larger and more chunky, while others are smaller and more breakable. Subtle varieties in texture make every bite interesting, as some flakes bear a heartier crunch, while others are lighter with a crisper texture. Once the flakes have been cut and shaped into proper size and shape, they're moved into ovens to be roasted. Now, this evenly sized and shaped flake will undergo heat drying effects, turning them out and giving them their signature crispness. The consistent thickness and shape ensure that flakes cook evenly, thus producing that perfect crispy texture that makes Frosted Flakes so pleasing to eat. This is the most important step in manufacturing, adding the sugar, crispy crunch everyone wants. The process starts with making a sugar syrup. It's sugar and water and sometimes malt or honey combined and heated to make a syrup a little thick. It's what creates that bright glossiness when it makes contact on each flake. After the sugar syrup is thickened, it's applied carefully to the flakes of corn in a coating drum or tumbler. The flakes are then tenderly turned in the drum, and the sugar solution is sprayed onto them so as to avoid clumping while ensuring uniform coating, thereby giving them that desirable sweetness uniformly. Sometimes these flakes are tumbled again after addition of sugar just to make sure the coating is crisped up and spread out evenly so that the final product would be highly crunchy. Further, the drying process is the next crucial stage in the creation of products like Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, because it ensures that the sugary coating on the flakes hardens and the flakes themselves become crisp, preventing sogginess and enhancing shelf life. Following the application of a sugar syrup to the cornflakes, they're moved into a drying chamber or conveyor belt dryer. Here, temperature and time can be carefully regulated. Flakes need to be dried in a way that the syrup crystallizes with a shiny coating without the flakes drying over and getting too brittle. The air in the drying chamber is typically heated to a moderate temperature, around 150 to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, to ensure that the sugar coating dries quickly but does not burn. Hot air is circulated around the flakes to ensure an even drying process. This drying process relies a lot on the phenomenon of evaporation of moisture. Given that the flakes move through the drying chamber, it slowly removes moisture from sugar solution without disturbing the integrity of the flake itself. It starts as a syrup coating the flakes in liquid form and becomes a hard and glossy sugar coating when the water is evaporated off. After the flakes have been dried, they're moved through a cooling process. The flakes are typically moved along cooling conveyors where cooler air is circulated to bring the temperature of the flakes down. This process helps the sugar coating to set and harden into its crispy form. As the flakes exit the drying and cooling stages, manufacturers perform quality control checks to ensure the texture is right. The freshly toasted and cooled Frosted Flakes are transported into a system where they're accurately weighed before being packed. This ensures the correct amount is placed in the pack, so that the same final product is obtained every time. The efficiencies of the automated weighing system mean that human error is impossible, as the flakes will be portioned correctly. Once the flakes are weighed, they move on to the packaging line. At this stage, they're funneled into packaging boxes or bags. Modern packaging machinery is designed to handle the delicate flakes carefully, preventing them from breaking or losing their crisp texture. In the case of bagged cereals, the flakes are dropped into plastic bags designed to protect them from moisture and air. In case the flakes are packed into boxes, the bags of cereal are packed in cardboard boxes sealed tight so that no air may get inside. Therefore, the cereal will be crispier for a more extended period in terms of shelf life. The packaging is designed to ensure that there is as little air as possible inside the bag or box. This prevents the cereal from becoming stale too quickly. Such is the quality control check of packaging processes to ensure that the cereal meets the quality standards set by Kellogg's. The inspections may even extend to checking if the right weight, integrity of packaging, and the general appearance of flakes have no defects before the final product hits the hands of the consumer. And there you have it, the sweet, crunchy journey of Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. From sun-drenched fields of corn to the iconic golden flakes that brighten up your breakfast bowl. It's amazing how much care, science, and precision go into every step, from responsibly sourcing the corn to achieving that perfect frosty crunch. So the next time you're munching on your Frosted Flakes, you can appreciate the process behind every delicious bite. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of food manufacturing, be sure to subscribe to Gourmet Assembly for more fascinating stories about your favorite foods. We've got plenty more to uncover, so stay tuned.